Have you ever pondered about the true nature of the legendary Spartans of ancient Greece? The Spartans, warriors of antiquity, continue to capture our imagination and intrigue. Today, we will unravel the mystery that surrounds them, delving into their rich tapestry of history, culture, and warfare. The Spartans hail from the city-state of Sparta, a powerhouse in ancient Greece. Their society was unique and complex, and their impact on history is undeniable. They were more than just warriors. They were innovators, they were survivors, they were Spartans. Many of us have a certain image of Spartans, an image often shaped by popular culture. We picture them as fierce, muscular warriors, always ready for battle. But is this the complete picture? Or have we fallen prey to the allure of oversimplification and stereotypes? The truth is, the Spartans were a product of their time and environment. Their society was structured to produce the best warriors, true, but they also valued art, music, and intellect. They had a complex political system, a unique education system, and a strong sense of community. Yet, despite their many strengths, the Spartans also had their weaknesses. They were a society built on the labor of enslaved people, a society that valued conformity and discipline above all else. These traits would ultimately contribute to their downfall. Over the course of this video, we will explore these aspects in depth. We will take a journey through time, from the birth of Sparta, through the peak of its power, to its eventual decline. We will examine the structure of Spartan society, the life of a Spartan warrior, and the legacy that they left behind. As we embark on this journey, let's put aside our preconceived notions. Let's challenge the stereotypes, question the myths, and seek the truth. For, as the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Prepare to uncover the truth about the Spartans as we delve into their remarkable history. The story of Sparta begins in the fertile valleys of the Eurotas River, around the 10th century BC. It was a time when iron was beginning to replace bronze as the metal of choice for weapons and tools, a shift that would profoundly influence the development of Spartan society. The origins of Sparta are shrouded in the mists of time. It is said to have been founded by the descendants of Heracles, who claimed the land as their own after a legendary return from the underworld. This mythical heritage was a source of immense pride for the Spartans and played a significant role in shaping their identity. Sparta was not a typical city-state like Athens or Corinth. It was in fact a collection of 5 villages, each with its own distinct identity, yet united under a common goal. This unity was key to Sparta's strength, as it allowed for a centralized government and a shared military force, the likes of which were unparalleled in the ancient world. The political and social structure of Sparta was unique. It was a dual monarchy, ruled by 2 kings who were believed to be the descendants of Heracles. These kings were not absolute rulers, but shared power with a council of elders and a citizen assembly. This system ensured a balance of power, and prevented any one individual or group from gaining absolute control. Spartan society was also unique. It was heavily militarized, with an emphasis on discipline, endurance, and martial prowess. From a young age, Spartan boys were trained to become warriors, a reflection of the society's belief in the virtue of strength and the nobility of sacrifice. The Spartan way of life, with its emphasis on unity, discipline, and martial prowess, laid the groundwork for the development of one of the most formidable military powers of the ancient world. The Spartans were not just warriors, they were a society built around the idea of warfare, a society that saw itself as the defenders of Greece. Thus, the stage was set for the rise of one of the most formidable military powers in the ancient world. At the heart of Spartan power were its people, and their unique way of life. Spartan society, a fascinating and complex structure, was truly like no other. At its core, it was divided into 3 main classes. The Spartiates, the ruling class, were full Spartan citizens who enjoyed the highest privileges and bore the heaviest military responsibilities. The Perioikoi, or dwellers around, were free but non-citizen inhabitants who engaged in commerce and crafts. The Helots, the lowest class, were essentially state-owned serfs, originally from conquered territories, who provided the manual labor. To maintain their military dominance, the Spartans cultivated a culture of discipline and martial prowess. From the tender age of 7, Spartan boys were taken from their families and enrolled in the agoge, a rigorous state-controlled education system. The agoge was more than just a military academy. It was a school of life and survival where boys were molded into warriors, learning to endure hardship, to obey, and to fight. In contrast, Spartan girls were educated too, which was quite unusual for ancient Greece. They were trained in athletics, dance, and music, but also in managing households and raising children, all with the aim of becoming strong mothers of strong warriors. Social customs in Sparta were also unique. Spartan meals, known as syssitia, were communal affairs where all Spartiates would eat together, reinforcing the sense of equality and fraternity. Marriage, too, was a distinctive ritual. It involved symbolic capture of the bride, a ritual designed to prove the strength and bravery of the groom. Spartan society was a well-oiled machine designed to produce the best warriors and maintain Spartan supremacy. Frugality, simplicity, and austerity were its cornerstones. Displays of wealth, luxury, or individuality were frowned upon. Instead, discipline, obedience, and the art of war were held in the highest regard. In Spartan society, discipline, obedience, and the art of war were held in the highest regard. From the age of 7, every Spartan male prepared for a life dedicated to warfare. This was the Spartan way. The life of a Spartan warrior was shaped by a rigorous and unforgiving system known as the agoj. This was not just training but a comprehensive education in the arts of war, endurance, survival, and discipline. The Spartan boys were taught to endure pain and hardship, to go without food or warmth, to walk barefoot on the rugged terrain, and to sleep on reeds. They learned to fight, to strategize, to hunt, and to navigate. They were not just being taught how to be soldiers, but how to be survivors, how to be Spartans. When these boys became men, they were not just warriors. They were a part of a well-oiled military machine. They fought in a phalanx, a tight-knit formation that was as much about trust and coordination as it was about strength and skill. Every Spartan knew his place, knew his role, and knew that his comrades depended on him. The Spartan warriors were involved in many notable military campaigns. The Battle of Thermopylae, where 300 Spartans, led by King Leonidas, held back the mighty Persian army, is perhaps the most famous. But there were others too. The Battle of Plataea, where the Spartans played a key role in a decisive Greek victory. The Peloponnesian War, where Sparta's disciplined military might was pitted against the naval power and wealth of Athens. But it wasn't just their military might that set the Spartans apart. It was their ethos, their philosophy, their way of life. A Spartan was expected to face death before dishonor. They were taught to never retreat, never surrender. To them, a warrior's greatest honor was to die in battle, to give his life for Sparta. Spartan warriors were renowned not only for their prowess in battle, but also for their dedication, discipline, and fearlessness. They were more than just soldiers. They were the embodiment of a society built on the principles of duty, honor, and courage. They were, in every sense of the word, Spartans. However, the very factors that made Sparta strong also contributed to its downfall. Sparta's strict military focus and societal rigidity, once its pillars of strength, became the chinks in its armor. The Spartan way of life began to unravel at the seams. Internal strife became a festering wound. The rigid societal structure, originally designed to maintain order and discipline, began to breed resentment. The Helots, Sparta's enslaved population, were a constant source of tension. They far outnumbered the Spartan citizens themselves, and the fear of rebellion was a perpetual thorn in Sparta's side. The constant vigilance required to keep the Helots in check strained Spartan resources and created a society teetering on the brink of chaos. Meanwhile, the military machine that had once made Sparta invincible began to falter. Spartan warriors were lauded as the finest in all of Greece, but their numbers were dwindling. The strict citizenship requirements and harsh training regimen meant that not all could become Spartan warriors, and as the ranks thinned, the military might of Sparta began to wane. And then came the military defeats. The Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC was a crushing blow. The Thebans, under the command of the brilliant general Epaminondas, defeated the Spartan army, shattering the myth of Spartan invincibility. This defeat marked the beginning of the end for Sparta as a major power in Greece. Societal changes also played their part. The Spartan way of life was rigid and unyielding, leaving little room for innovation or change. As the rest of Greece began to flourish, embracing democracy, philosophy, and the arts, Sparta clung to its old ways, becoming increasingly isolated and outdated. By the time the Romans arrived on the scene, Sparta was a mere shadow of its former glory. It was easily subjugated and became just another province in the vast Roman Empire. By the end of the 4th century BC, the once mighty Sparta was but a shadow of its former self. Though the Spartan state crumbled, its legacy endured. As the Spartan sun set, it cast long shadows that would shape the course of history. The echoes of their military prowess reverberated through the ages, influencing societies that followed, from the Roman Empire to modern military organizations. The Spartans, renowned for their discipline and martial skill, left an indelible mark on Roman military tactics. The Romans, keen observers and adapters, borrowed heavily from the Spartan model. The Roman legions, with their emphasis on discipline, physical fitness, and unit cohesion, mirrored the Spartan ethos. The Spartan phalanx, a tight formation of spear-wielding warriors, was the precursor to the Roman testudo formation, a testament to the Spartans' tactical genius. But the influence of Sparta wasn't just confined to the battlefield. The Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes endurance, self-control, and courage in the face of adversity, finds its roots in Spartan culture. It was the Spartans who showed the world that virtue can be forged in the crucible of hardship. Even in the modern era, the Spartan legacy is alive and well. Today, military academies worldwide study Spartan tactics and ethos. The grueling training programs of the Navy SEALs, the British SAS, and the Russian Spetsnaz can trace their lineage back to the Agoj, the brutal training regime of the Spartan youth. The Spartan shield, lambda symbol, and the phrase molon labe, meaning come and take them, are iconic symbols adopted by modern military and law enforcement units. The Spartan legacy also extends to pop culture, inspiring books, movies, and video games. The tale of 300 Spartans standing against a Persian army of thousands at the Battle of Thermopylae has become a symbol of courage and defiance against overwhelming odds. The Spartans may have been a small city-state on a rocky corner of Greece, but their impact was anything but small. They were architects of a way of life, creators of a culture that valued honor, courage, and discipline above all else. The Spartans may have vanished, but their spirit lives on, etched in the annals of history. So, who were the Spartans really? The Spartans, as we've discovered, were a complex society born out of the rugged landscapes of ancient Greece. Their story is one of resilience, discipline, and military prowess, but also of societal decline and eventual fall. In the beginning, Sparta was just a cluster of villages in the Peloponnese. However, the Spartans' thirst for power and territorial control led to the creation of a formidable city-state. This birth of Sparta wasn't just the emergence of a new city, but the foundation of an entire culture that would leave an indelible mark on history. Spartan society was unique, with its focus on austerity, discipline, and equality. The social structure was distinctive, with clear roles for men, women, and the helot class. Spartan men were warriors, women held considerable power and influence, and the helots, although enslaved, were crucial to Spartan economy and warfare. It's impossible to talk about Sparta without discussing the Spartan warriors. Trained from a young age, these warriors were the epitome of discipline and bravery. Their military tactics, especially the famed phalanx formation, made them virtually invincible on the battlefield. Yet, even the mighty Spartans couldn't escape the inevitable cycle of rise and fall. The decline of Sparta was a gradual process, marked by internal strife, external pressures, and a failure to adapt to changing circumstances. Despite their military prowess, the Spartans couldn't withstand the tides of change sweeping through ancient Greece. But the Spartan saga doesn't end with their decline. The legacy of Sparta is enduring and pervasive. It is seen in our fascination with their warrior culture, their societal structure, and their indomitable spirit. Their influence is evident in various aspects of modern life, from military strategies to popular culture. The Spartans were more than just warriors. They were a society that, for better or worse, reshaped the world in their image.